My grandkids tell me about a lot of things. A lot of things. They tell me about a lot of things about nature and science and life and philosophy, the way things are and how we figure stuff out. I love that. So I'm going to sing this song for them. It's about birds. It's about the things that the birds need, their trees and their wings and their bird baths and their feathers and their common sense that makes them fly southward in the spring. Take away the trees and the birds will have to sit upon the ground. Take away their wings and the birds will have to walk to get around. Take away their bird baths, dirty birds will soon be everywhere. Take away their feathers and the birds will walk around in underwear. Take away their and the birds will have to whisper when they sing. Take away their common sense and they'll be headed southward in the spring. Remember me, my darling, when spring's in the air. Bald-headed birds are whispering everywhere when you see them walking southward in their dirty underwear. That's Tennessee Birdwalk. About some trees so the birds won't have to sit upon the ground. How about some wings so the birds won't have to walk to get around? How about a bird bath too so the birds will all be clean? How about some feathers so their underwear no longer will be seen? How about a bird so the birds won't have to whisper when they sing? How about some common sense so they won't be blocking traffic in the spring? Remember me, my darling, when spring's in the air and all-headed birds are whispering everywhere when you see them walking southward in their dirty underwear. That's Tennessee Birdwalk. That's Tennessee Birdwalk. And here's the thing. That's a great lesson on nature and birds, but here's a gig story that you might learn something from. When my kids were young, we had a family band, and we would sign up to play at county fairs and city festivals and different programs that were available that we could get a spot on. And well, my daughter, Sochi, played the keyboards and sang, and AC played the guitar and sang, and I played the guitar and sang, and Ethan played the drums. Once in a while, we would show up, and their stage wouldn't be adequate for what we did. Most of the time, they had a good sound system and microphones and everything so we could perform. And sometimes they didn't have anything. And we had our own sound system in case we needed it, but sometimes we traveled without it because we just assumed they would have a good stage. More than once, we showed up and there would be just one microphone on stage. And I definitely want to emphasize this. The sound people we worked with were spectacular. They were just fantastic. But there were occasions when we showed up and there was just one microphone on stage, and I would go to the sound booth and say, well, we're going to need 3 microphones. And they'd say, why? Just gather around one microphone. And one time I remember we showed up to a program and I said, well, we all sing. And the guy said, well, then gather around the microphone. And I said, well, that's going to be hard because my daughter's at her piano. And he looked at me and he said, nobody wants to hear your daughter play the piano. Just put a CD on. Don't you have a CD of your background music? And just stand around the microphone and sing. Well, that's a whole different kind of entertainment. That's a whole different kind of musical group. That's not what we were. That's not what we practiced. And I told him, I said, we don't have a CD that we sing to. We play live instruments. And he said, nobody wants to hear live instruments. Just stand around the microphone and sing. And well, we just got back in our van and we went for a hamburger and didn't perform at all. There was also a couple of occasions when we were told there can only be one microphone. The sound system is only for one microphone, and we can't plug in other microphones into it. When, you know, I mean, you see a board, it's got 24 places to put a microphone, and they didn't. We said, well, why are there 24 places to put a microphone? And he'd say, I don't know, but we'll only put one microphone. And along those lines, there were times when the guy at the soundboard would turn up the microphone of whoever was singing, turn everybody else's microphones down, so when he sang harmony, you couldn't hear it. And these were all challenges in performing that I guess if you were the main attraction, you could sit down and arrange that with the sound people and say, this is what we need and this is how it's got to go. But when you just show up to do for an hour to do your spot, there are sometimes challenges like that that we had to face, and they were very, very, very exasperating. We just, oh, it was challenging. But I want to emphasize, 99% of the time, show up. They knew what to do. They knew how to plug the drums into the sound system, how to plug the keyboard into the sound system, set everybody up, check the levels, and it was like a dream to perform on those stages. It was a lot of fun. So good and bad that we had to be prepared for. Those are things you learn when you're performing.